says I'm live, so it should be live here. There we go. Doesn't look like anybody's gonna come play with me today. Oh well. If anybody shows up, I'm going to be finishing up my build here. We're about halfway through the QAV-r 6-inch. I want to get her all sorted, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that done real quick. So, hello, non-public, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished up. So let's kick over to the workbench. Hello, nobody. Okay. So I took the time and went ahead and finished up the ESCs. Got them ready real quick for us. That way I can just rip through this. And let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I'm going to get the other two ESCs attached here real quick. Should only take a minute. You know what? I'm going to move this real quick. Whoa! Up into this corner because... Hey Travis, how you doing? Yeah, realized I needed to finish up the QAV-r, so... Hey George, what's up? So yeah, last night I finished these up real quick. I've got 4 ESCs available now, so I'm going to go ahead and attach the other 2, and then we'll get started with attaching it all to the PDB. So, let's go. Yeah. This sticky tack is nearing end of life. I need to get more. Yeah. So how was your guys' day? I stayed home because apparently I've got the flu. Ha! It's awesome. Alright. Tin it up. There we go. Get that in the picture. I'm just going to melt the ESCs on. These are pre-used ESCs. There's a lot of extra gunk on them. But we can make it work. You know what? I think I'm going to call that end of life and grab some new stuff because I got a drawer right here full of it. I got brand new blue tack. Springfield, Missouri, and up into Indiana. So you were out by me then. And Travis, I totally feel ya. I hear about half the country is under snow and or ice right now. So staying home for winter weather is nothing I blame you for. So what's got you up in Portage, Indiana, George? Is that where you're from, or is it just a stop on some crazy rock star tour or something? Oh, and how's the sound and everything? Are we okay? Jersey, oh, you poor man, Travis. I've been up there in the winter before, through Pennsylvania and up into Jersey to get to my bank, actually, at one point, ex-girlfriend, and it was just brutal. Let me flip my hat. Come on, milk you. Thank you. There we go. And grab a little thingamabubber. Be up there. There we go. Yeah. Stuff everywhere. Should probably get some sort of cover on this. Oh, okay. Gotcha, George. That's pretty cool, though. I bet you get to see a lot of the country driving a truck. I'm driving a truck. Driving a big old truck. Pedal to the metal, hope I don't run out of luck. Oh man, the furthest north I lived was Virginia, though. It's, those brutal winters in New York, New Jersey. No, thank you. We got the 26 inches of snow. You can see that on my Facebook a couple years back. It was easily over the yardstick in a snowdrift that was my driveway. So, didn't they have that problem in New York one year where like one street had like 12 feet of snow and the other one had like nothing? I still don't understand the weather phenomenon that had to have been. Come a little closer. You should stop being so wiggly. Come on. Melt. I will add more solder to you. Better be careful, I will drown you in solder. I went out and picked up more silver solder. It's like 3% silver. This stuff melts like a dream. But I'm still having trouble with the CSC here because I am a derp. You know what? Let's adjust that. Oh, okay. So you're in the general area then. Like I said last week, I'm going to go live in Aruba or something. Where it's like, 90 degrees year-round, beautiful weather, beautiful women, thong bikini weather every day. I am currently sitting where it is icing outside. Like, literally, we are getting ice coming out of the sky. Which, I've dealt with once or twice before, but man, it is not something I want to deal with while I'm working and wanting to fly FPV. Because dark and ice, and it's just a bad day. Come on, melt, damn you. There we go. Get in there. Now stay. Good boy. Exactly. So they did have that problem back then. I think it was like right after the hurricane came through Jersey Shore and destroyed the whole place. Come on, seriously? Melt. Melt. This ESC does not want to play with me. There we go. Stay. Good boy. Yeah. Yeah, I should, and I have it somewhere. I just don't know where my liquid flux went. That, and I tend to make a hash out of everything. Last time I used liquid flux on the ESC, I accidentally took off 2 of the capacitors. So, I'm hard on my toys. That's why I use this silver stuff. Rosin core silver. Here, I'll tell you as soon as I get this done. I'll read it off the package. Just picked it up this afternoon. Because I had a little time, because I stayed home with the flu. But no, in all seriousness, I fell apart this morning. So, I did not want to go in and get my entire office sick and have them hate me forever and a day. Get on there without melting the entire freaking world. It'd be great. It's also a new tip, so it's being kind of bitchy. Promise, as soon as we get to the clean stuff, this will be a lot faster. Yes, it does. I am less than excited for the whole thing. There we go. Thank you. Oh, you are a messy, messy weld, but you'll work. Yeah. Oh, wunderbar. Come here. Get off all that. Hot. Okay. So, we now have 4 ESCs on here. Ta-da! Get that crap plastic off. Get some nice plastic on. Yeah. I'm used to that. From Virginia, I was lucky. I was nestled up right in the DC area. So none of those hurricanes actually hit us, but we'd watch the entirety of the weather reset on us you know, as they came through North, South Carolina, that kind of stuff. That's 4. Now I'm going to use fire. Oh, Travis, as for the 6-inch arms, I realized that I already have 2 5-inches sitting up on the wall over here, and I had the Ishin Wizard, and I wasn't flying the Ishin Wizard at all anymore. So I decided to go ahead and make a 6-inch because, yay, something different. I want to test it out, see if I like it. I'm looking for a Sky Surfer type thing. I mean, BMC3D did an awesome job. He definitely expedited my order. I ordered it on Sunday, and he went ahead and sent me my custom print for the 45-degree mount. And it got delayed in Omaha for a day, but I got it here on Wednesday, so that's not bad. But yeah, you can see the old 30-degree mount for the Wizard and the 45 for the QAV-r. It's going to be really interesting having to fly at 45 degrees. That's going to be nuts. But figure I'd give it a shot, see if I can't get some pretty, like, surf in the sky stuff. Please do. Okay. Yeah, those F3 and F4 all-in-one boards make me nervous as all get out. But I say as I grab fire to shrink stuff. But, you know, those F3 and F4 boards just make me nervous in general. I don't like the idea of everything being all-in-one. Only because I feel like I'm going to destroy stuff. Like, you know, I'll break an ESC normally. Oop, this is out of fire. I will be right back. I'm going to have to step out into the other room to grab myself a new lighter. 2 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. It is kind of a sideways stretch X. It's pretty cool. You know, I like the wider pattern in general. But as for my solder, there we go. I use Track Power Rosin Core Silver solder, just 3% silver, and I believe it is a, there we go, containing no lead, 3% silver content. So it is tin and silver. I believe it's a little more expensive, but stuff works awesome. 15 grams, 3% silver. So it's a tin and silver solder. But yeah, that's why it comes out a little bit cloudier than your regular stuff, but it melts beautifully. So I highly recommend it. Anyway, back to fire. I want to get these all closed up and whatnot so I don't have to deal with them anymore. Go away. Nobody loves you. Yes, these are a bitch. I hate you so much. Oh, melt. You're a necessary evil. Burning my own hand. Owie, owie, hot, 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 hot. Let's give that a second. Ow. Well, I have a heat gun actually, Travis. It's over behind everything on the ground because I melted the heat gun because it was a plastic base. Like I said, I'm really hard on my toys. But yeah. And you know, when you used to be a smoker, you've always got lighters around. Unfortunately, I am currently still a pseudo half kinda sorta smoker. So, speaking of, I forgot my vape. I don't know where it is. Oh no! I have to go grab it in a sec. Let me get this finished real quick. I know exactly where my vape is. I just wanna get this done. Bend up so I can get the back. Now we'll scrub your back. Fire and a camera do not mix well. This is difficult. Oh, I know. BMC3D is absolutely awesome. I actually get all of my mounts from him. It's Brian something, I can't remember. But What's his name? Joshua Bardwell actually turned me on to these. They are totally awesome. They're really well done. The GoPros fit snug as a bug in a rug. If I had one around, I would show you. I'll have to go get one of those too. I'm gonna be running back and forth all day. But yeah, I highly recommend bmc3d.co. Brian, I cannot remember his last name at the moment, but he expedited these out for me. He's awesome. Great guy too, and his prints are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this is from almost a year ago, and this is from yesterday. So, yeah, okay, let's give Justin something like a Betaflight F3 board. The green and purple. Okay, so first off, the Betaflight F3 board, you gotta heat it up a lot. I'm gonna melt the damn thing. I'm terrible at this. But the green and purple motors are from. They're actually returner R4s. It's the R4 2206-2450 kV motors. They are super awesome. I do have a little bit of a problem with the catch on them, only because this is a slightly heavier build, but I love it to death, and I love the colors, because as you can tell, I kind of have a color scheme that I put together, Laserbeak, so... It started with the Wizard, and it's just moved on to all of my quads. I mean, I've even got this itty-bitty little 2-inch here. This is actually a Rotor X Atom 83 that I have yet to build. I have to get all the components and everything, but I've got the shell and the bottom plate. It's a little 2-inch that I'll get to at some point here. And by some point, I mean when my wallet doesn't hurt and I can buy another couple $100 worth of stuff. So that ought to be a fun little one for like next fall, winter, and whatnot. Because, oh my gosh, it's so itty-bitty. I mean, look at the difference. But anyway. So yeah, the color scheme just kind of came of itself and decided to stay because I like it. But anyway. Fire, 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 fire. So, has anybody seen the new Clearview module that just came out for the Fat Sharks? Totally blindsided me. I wasn't paying attention for the past few weeks, but that thing looks really interesting. My biggest complaint about it, though, is that it doesn't have a LCD screen. So, you're going to go back to having to use your Switch on your goggles, and that just makes me terribly sad, because that is so close to an epic module, but it's not, because they forgot the FPV, the LCD screen. So how am I going to find my quad with it, you know? Because that's honestly the biggest thing I do with that LCD screen is my quad's gone. Oh, where'd it go? And start pointing my patch antenna at random things and see what it looks like. Alright, good enough for government work. Okay. So, we now have ESCs and motors. Hooray! And it was pointed out to me earlier today that yes, I probably should have lengthened these motor wires to get the ESCs closer in. But as this is at the moment more of a spare parts build, I figure I'm just gonna not splice anything, not mess with anything, get everything hooked up and have it fly. When I have to replace these motors, because they are like a year old, I'll go ahead and use the longer motor wires, move the ESCs in and whatnot, just to make it nice and pretty. But for the moment, it will fly, it will make me happy, and we are good. So, minus plus. Alright, you guys need to get out of the way. Let's get you out of the way here. Yeah. You gonna stay? Cool. Yes, bad practice. Don't tuck your wires in. What are you doing? But you know what? I just want them out of the way for now so I can deal with the positives and negatives. So, make it nice and simple. Ow, it's still hot. Good lord. Burning myself on stuff. 2 seconds. Okay. I need my vape. This is stressful. And yeah, Derek, hey there, by the way. I do actually have a heat gun, but I melted it. It was a gas one, it was plastic based, and it is back behind everything in the maybe I'll fix it at some point pile. So did a Wizard X220 Martian 3 and a Furious 220 100-mile-per-hour build. Yeah, it's that magical thing at the very end, Laserbeak, that is the once I fill my pockets with cash. If I could fill my pockets with cash, I'd probably have all the modules and all the fun stuff. Be testing out a new build every week. But there's this thing called life that's currently got me doing a lot less building and playing and having an awesome time than I'd like to. Yeah, that's the one I have. It's the gas-powered one that was also a soldering iron and everything else, Derek. It's what, the soldering iron, the heat gun, and the torch, and everything that's really cool, and I melted it. So I didn't go out and buy a new one. I do have the really big heat gun that I actually use for my armor builds, for my Mandalorian and everything, my costuming, but that's a little big to do this. I can melt the whole quad, so... Travis, if you'd like to send them to me, go ahead and leave me a message and I can PM you. Or I can hit you up via email. That's not a problem. But if you'd like to send me stuff to use on my channel, I would gladly accept it. Because the more I can do, the more fun I have. And the more entertaining I can be, the more you guys like chatting with me and hanging out. So... if I have stuff to be entertaining with, it's always a bonus. Yeah. Tinning. God, that's a lot of wire. Come on. I'm gonna use up all of it. I should probably get my fan going here so I don't make the whole house smell. But it's so noisy. That was way too much wire, but it'll work. It'll work. Alright. One more. Oh, you want me to get the soldering workstation? Or the heat gun workstation? I don't know. I mean, I'm a hobbyist. I can't spend all my money. I'd have a set of helping hands and whatnot too, but when I get all that stuff into the house, girl's gonna start asking questions. At which point, all my money will be questioned, and that's just obnoxious. She's out cold, by the way. She took NyQuil herself just a minute ago. She's sick too, so. Travis, well, first off, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. I'm glad I keep it entertaining. I try. Most of the time I fail, but you know, every once in a while I get a good one out. But yeah. Yeah, no, I've got the big one, Derek. It's in the garage, I think, at the moment. Yeah, it's in the garage. But I use that for most of my armor building, which is this big thing over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Here, well, here. I'll shoot it this way. This isn't gonna work. Yeah, see that big case right there? That big case is full of an armor build. It is a Mandalorian, and I go around and I make children happy too. Let's see, is that gonna get back? Okay, there we go. But I use the big old Harbor Freight $8, you know, 3 or 2 setting heat gun for that. I'd be afraid that I'd melt everything if I used that heat gun though, because it is big and ridiculous. So. But yeah, Travis, I'm about a year in myself, so I just try and be entertaining and not too obnoxious, and maybe every once in a while I might get a cool vid. It's about as far as I've gotten so far, so. Come on. I'm now tinning all the pads on the power distribution board. And this right here is why I love this silver solder, because watch this. As soon as it starts melting, it just flows beautifully. You can get nice little pads. I don't know why Luminaire used a white PDB. It's just going to turn brown when things get hot. But, you know, I guess to each their own, right? Okay, I think that's getting too small to work with. Yeah, it's getting hot. Yo. Okay, done with that. Let me grab the new solder here. Laserbeak, needing to upgrade your goggles. VR-D2's version 1. Wow, that's the old E-Sheen, right? I actually skipped straight to my Attitude V3s to start. Those things are great. I found them used on eBay actually for, I think it was like $200, so it wasn't too bad. As for lipos, I just buy a new lipo every week. I have at the moment 6 that are working and a 7th that just sits in the bag. It's broken. I've replaced 3 different cells on it and the 4th cell's just gone out, so it sits there. That way I never have last pack mentality because I always have one last pack in my bag and I don't get jinxed. But yeah. And as for Chinese New Year, I absolutely feel you on that. I was lucky anything came through when it did. And I just happened to be lucky and get everything a little before that, so. Yeah. The last time she tried to say, how come you're spending so much? I was able to just point at all the packages that were on the front door. So I got lucky there, but. No, that's not true. Like, her 20 packages cost the same as like a half of one of mine. She's very thrifty. She's very thrifty. So. And yes, I would recommend, just like Derek said, a Hako soldering station is pretty darn good. I ended up getting the Xtronic, which isn't too bad, except parts decide to come loose randomly, which is really fun, let me tell you. I'm probably going to need more there, but that's okay. Heat up. And the flow. Ah. Okay, flow in the battery pads. These things are huge. And on the Luminaire, this is monstrous. I'm used to a much smaller. Alright, go right in the iron. Melt, darn you, melt. Yeah, I'm used to slightly smaller PDBs here when it comes to battery pads. The Maytag board is legitimately there we go. The Maytag board's quite a bit smaller when it comes to the battery pads. That's these two here. As you can tell, this thing needs some solder sucker. That's what I really need to get, is a sucking station or a bunch of solder wicks or something like that. Harbor Freight does carry a soldering station, I believe. I got mine off of Amazon though. It was Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. I think it was like $60. So. You got a whole nother wizard laying around, Travis? Oh, come on. You can pick up a new flight controller for nothing. I mean, I've got a spare flight controller sitting right there. There's SP Racing F3s go for like, what, nothing right now? And even my good board, I mean, I'm using a Rotor Geeks SSD F3 here. That's only a $20 board. If you're looking to get it fixed or anything, you know, that'd be the way I'd go. But Travis, like I said, I'm happy to take anything you want to send me. Just leave me a message. I can PM or email you. We can get something set up. put together a giveaway or something. But if George wants it, George could totally have it. I got no problem with that. There you go, Laserbeak. They're about $14, $15, something like that. They're nice and cheap these days. And it's F3 boards that are just flight controllers. Nobody uses them, right? That's how this goes. That resin core is really looking pretty on the board, isn't it? Yummy. There we go. All right. So I'm going to guess here and say 1, 2, 3, 4 works, right? Right. Let's double check my diagram. Hang on. I always have one of these. I always have a diagram up for motor order and the flight control board, just in case I do anything stupid. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because there have been times when I have taken them and hooked them up all wrong, which was great, because then I had to go into Betaflight and fix everything, which is just a blast, let me tell you. Alright. So we're going to cut right about, what, you think there? And that should work. And then we'll cut it there. Yeah, at this point I am getting rid of the excess so I can get all of these hooked up nice and pretty. So that's about the right length to start, so we're good. I'm going to take you, chop you right about there. Even though I just did that backwards, son of a gun. Good, I've still got enough wire, I can get it there. I should pay attention, haha. Plus and minus are important. Always pay attention to your positives and negatives, children. Otherwise, you're going to short everything out and blow yourself up. Like those guys who vape and keep their finger on the trigger when they fall asleep. Boom! Yeah. Because I've reversed 2 of the ESCs, I end up also having to reverse 2 of the the ESC wires to the board. And I always make that mistake of cutting one wrong because I'm super smart. I'm a genius. Feel free, guys. You can send me all your stuff. I'll make ridiculous things. I don't know. Laserbeak, no, I actually don't do any RC car stuff. I've got the old like Tyco RC stuff in my closet here. It's in some toy box or another that I have in the back. But I don't actually do any sort of RC car stuff at the moment. I've looked into it and I'm thinking about making some like little tiny one or something like that, put an FPV cam on it, because I think it'd be really fun to like race through a classroom or through my office or something like that. But you know, it's one of those maybe someday builds when I got the spare cash floating around. So, but yeah, I'd be happy to take some stuff and make some sort of monster Frankenstein build. Stick 4 different ESCs, 4 different motors, an old flight controller, and half a PDB. See if it still flies. But yeah, if you guys want to send me stuff or anything, you can email me at L07ventures, VENTURES, @gmail.com. I'd be happy to take some stuff. A flying RC car. Didn't they make that back in the day? There was some hovercraft RC car thing that like Tyco made back in the day. That'd be fun to recreate. And Travis, cameras aren't that bad. They only put on 10 pounds, trust me. And make your hat look funky when you have it on backwards. Come on, come off. Yeah, I know. Hot air gun, hot air gun. One day I'll bring it out, but it like I said, it's in the garage. It's monstrous. It wouldn't work too well for these tiny little electronics builds. But go ahead and start getting things tinned up here. This is actually the Lumineer stock board, George. It is just the PDB that comes with it. Last stream yesterday, I actually put the Pololu step down on here. It's actually the 5-volt regulator for this for this PDB setup. Excuse me. Turns aux 2 into a 5-volt. Was it 5-volt 2 amp, 5-volt 3 amp? I think it's 5-volt 3 amp. Regulated pad. That way I can use the TBS Triumph 5-volt only that I here it is. Yeah. I've got the 5-volt only TBS Triumph in this bag here that I'm going to use, or the TBS Unify, excuse me. 5G8 video transmitter. I did have this on one of my Chameleons, however, it did not get good enough regulation through that PDB, and it crapped out on me, and that's how I lost my first Chameleon. Luckily, it showed back up, but... So I now have the HVs in there, the high voltage ones that'll take like up to 6S. And hey, I am happy to answer questions. I have no problem with that. Ask me anything you want. As long as you don't get too heavily into politics, because I'll lose subscribers over that. I'm a libertarian. Yeah, Derek, like I've said, I don't feel comfortable enough with the all-in-ones. I feel like, one thing goes wrong and you got to replace everything, and it's an additional $60, $80, however much it costs to get that all replaced, and that is just ridiculous, in my opinion. It's too expensive for not enough reliability. Yeah, get some. Yeah. Go tinned, whatever works. Way too much on there. Get off. Come back. Humbug. I'll fix you later. Let's move on to the next. Get rid of this extra solder on the tip here, and I might be able to get that back at some point. Well, you bring up an interesting question, Laserbeak. I actually fly with a Turnigy Evolution. I love it. I love it to death. This thing is great. It is awesome. It is wonderful. It does exactly what I needed to. And look at how small it is. My hands actually fit it. However, it does have its own problems. The particular transmitter receivers that come with it are mostly park receivers. You're not going to get huge, ridiculous distances with these. I can cover most parks and most places I fly with this, but I ain't doing any major mountain surfing with the Tyrannus. I am actually looking at the new, with the Turnigy. I apologize. I'm looking at the new Tyrannus. I think it's the Tyrannus Lite, Tyrannus X Lite, something like that. And that's basically going to be this form factor, but it'll be Crossfire compatible from what I've been reading. I'm just waiting to see it come out. I want to see what's going on with it. I'll probably get the revision 2 if I do, and that way, it'll be an upgrade. I do love the gimbals on the QX7 and on the, what is it, the X9D, XD9, whatever it is. One of my buddies has one of those, and I have flown it, and it is much more... it's got a lot more resolution, and it's a lot more... It feels better. The gimbals feel better than what's in the Turnigy. However, for the form factor, this can't be beat right now. Anyway, so it's totally up to you. You can order one. They're not terribly expensive. They're only about $70. But, you know, in my opinion, I started on the Turnigy only because I started as a gamer, and it just feels right. But yeah, I'll probably end up, Travis, heading towards the new one. Yeah, the X Lite, whatever it is. I think that thing looks awesome. I want to see what initial reviews are first, though, because it's a pretty penny just to drop. But, but yeah, Derek, don't worry. I'm back to the build. Got me a little sidetracked there. But hey, I'm just as happy to talk to you guys as I am to actually do building here, so. I will put on music here one day while I'm doing this stuff. You don't want to hear my beatboxing. It's awful. Oh, God. Alright. Gotta tin up all the fun little wires. Ugh. This part's annoying, but the finished product is worth it. Alright. Tweezers. Negative. Down. I'm gonna go under. You need to move. Stay out of my way. Alright. You can get out of the way. How'd you know, Derek? I am actually ADHD, yes. Not so much ADHD anymore, just ADD. I'm easily distracted by shiny things, so yeah, story of my life right there. I'm gonna need a lot more solder. Come on, stop fighting me, get on the pad. Ah, that is hot. I'm burning myself for you. That means you should obey me. There we go. On the pad. That'll work. Absolutely. Laserbeak, a lot of us, I would not doubt, are incredibly ADD. I find the act of flying and the act of building and making in general, you know, whether it be FPV quadcopters, if I'm building something from scratch, working with plastics, whatever, to be a very cathartic experience. Because you have to concentrate, otherwise you burn, melt, destroy in general. Sounds like one of my exes, distracted by shiny things, Travis. Be in the middle of a fight, you just dangle an earring in front of her. Ooh, shiny! She'll leave you alone. This one, I have no such luck. She is focused to the point, gonna be a lawyer, but she's ADD too, so. Come on, what's wrong with you? Melt the solder. Oh, I have to clean my tip. I'm a young you, Derek? How so? Or is that Travis you're talking to? Solid gold quad. Dude, engagement ring or gold quad? Take your pick, honey. See what you get, right? Oh, come on. Stop fighting me. My tip's throwing a fit here. You have to give me half a second. I think it got dirty. Yeah. Come on, you piece of crap. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning up my tips. Just the tip, baby? Just the tip? Yeah? Well, I guess I will take that as a compliment, Derek. Yeah, it's a rosin core, so it has flux in it. It's just being difficult at the moment. Probably because I don't clean it as often as I should. There we go. Melting the solder again. Back to work. Get in there. There we go. All right. ESC4, positive, negative. Get this done. Like I said, Derek, I will take that as a compliment if I remind you of a young you. It's never a bad thing to remind someone of something, being nostalgic and whatnot. As long as it's not like, yeah, I went to prison for 12 years, and you don't want to remind a prisoner. Ow, hot. You don't want to remind a prisoner of something like that, Get some old thoughts coming. Bubba wants you to drop the soap. No, thank you. But hey, I gotta keep it interesting, right? Yesterday, I watched back my own video. There was a lot of quiet time, which was not fun. That's boring. I want to be interesting. Travis, she said ring. So you asked her, huh? Tell her that a solid gold quad would probably be worth more than that ring. Oh, come on, you're not. You're way dry, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're a little dry piece. There we go. It's still a little dry. Let's add some solder to that. How about you stay where you are? Thank you. Okay, next. I'm debating using I seem to have an okay time with the silver solder. That's why I use the silver, because I am impatient and flux sucks. So I make a mess. I have melted desks with flux before. No. Alright, so Luminaire sends you an XT60 that's cute and small, and it'll get me maybe about yay far back around. Now I hook up my batteries funny. So I'm actually thinking about using the extra long XT60 that I made for the Wizard to get me all the way up to my batteries. So I think that's what I'm gonna do at this point in time. Goodbye, little XT60. Hello, big one. Alright. So real quick, that means I'm gonna have to, I should probably retin these. They are messy, messy, messy. Oh, very cool. Well, tell her I say hi, Travis. I'm glad she watches me too, and awesome that she's flying. I can't get mine to fly for the life of me. It's mine will watch me fly for a little bit, but for the most part, she has no interest, and that's because it actually makes her queasy. I've shown her like Mr. Steele's videos and the drib and whatnot, and she's actually had to like look away so she didn't throw up. So there we go. Make you a little prettier. Make you pretty. Make it so I can look at your face in the mirror. There we go. All right. I want it to face that way, more or less. Let's see if this even pretends to melt everything. Are we hot? Are we hot? Who knew that soldering irons and soldering guns get warm, guys? Ew. Motherfucker. Well, hello, Travis's girl. Unfortunately, I don't know your name, because I haven't seen you in the chat or anything. Ow, motherfucker. Frick. It's hot. You know what? I'm gonna do the bad thing. I'm gonna be bad. Ah, get away. You are obviously too old and gross. Let's go ahead and re-tin those. Half the time you just gotta guess at what steel is doing. So I totally understand that. Ledrib has this nice flowy style that, you know, flips and dips and schwibbly woos. I'm a fan of his style personally. I'm developing my own style, which seems to be just everywhere and everywhere. Hi, Courtney. Tell Travis, Courtney, that he is a lucky mug because he has an awesome girl who likes FPV. You can take that to the bank. I'm not saying, Derek, that I am not a fan of most pilots. Everybody develops their own style. That's something that I learned maybe about 5-6 months ago when I started flying with a couple of other guys in the area. You know, you may have seen Jacob in a video or two of mine. He has a really hard, flippy, you know, ripping, flipping, upside down, sideways, never staying still, straight or level, craziness type of thing that he does. Whereas I'm more of a kind of flyer at the moment. So everybody flies their own special ways. And you know, that's just how we all develop our skill set. Everybody ends up flying differently, which is kind of cool. That's part of the fun of freestyle, in my opinion. You know, racing, there's pretty much one best way to do that. Whereas freestyle, everybody ends up dancing in their own manner, just like you'd see at a club. You know, nobody... Oh, come on, wow. I need like 10 more gallons of soda on this bed, don't I? Melt everything. Ah, so hot. So hot. I'm having trouble with this. Melt in, yes, please. Whatever. Good Lord. Okay. I'll put about another gallon on here. Go with the flow? I guess I can work with that. And yeah, music always helps. Your musical style and your musical tastes definitely change up the way you fly. And the way you edit your flights, in fact. Because I will pick a song that kind of feels right, and I edit with that song to make everything flow nice and pretty. Unlike I'm doing with this solder. Good God. Oh, whatever. It'll work. I'll deal with it later. I want to turn on the battery and have it go beep at me. That is the goal for this evening. Yeah. Wow, that's the worst battery setup I've ever done, but you know what? It'll work, because that was brutal. I like the ESC pads on this board, but I understand why people toss this Luminaire PDB at this point, because holy jeez, that was not pleasant. So George, you went from an i6 to a QX7. How was that transition? I hear the i6 is a little on the chintzy side. And the QX7, of course, if you got the certain additions, it came with the Hall sensor gimbals, which are like the creme de la creme, from what I hear. San Diego, I'm so jealous. So jealous. I think it was like 37 degrees out here today. There you go, Laserbeak. More like 31. Yeah, that's how I felt. If you're still all herky-jerky, Travis, I'd recommend changing up your rates. I have a really flat rate through about almost 75% of the stick, and then it jumps exponentially to give me those quick flips, rolls, and such. You know, just changing that up made me so much smoother, it's not even funny. You know, I started out all herky-jerky. If you go watch my like original Wizard videos, or heck, if you watch my Learning to Fly compilation, you'll see that actually. I am all over the place. It is not pretty. It is not happy. And I was lucky to find music that worked with it at all. That is interesting. Yeah, whatever, it works. Hey, speaking of that extra solder from before, check that out. Oh, I smell so much resin. I may have to turn the fan on here in a sec. Come on. Don't make me have to clean it one last time. I don't want to. There we go. Alright. Okay, let me turn the fan on here real quick. I'm starting to get a little woozy. Might be loud and obnoxious. Let me know if it's too much. It's, for some reason, it's like a 1-speed fan, and they put it on a dial knob so it buzzes something awful. Yeah, Derek, I use it super long, mostly because when I have this all together... Oop, I lost my second monitor. There we go. When I have it all together, it's going to come through here. Oh, no! I always forget something. But anyway, it's going to come through here, and it's going to come up, and I want to be able to plug into my short batteries with the way that I set up my stuff. I do what Mr. Steele does, and I actually have the battery sideways with the XT60 coming up over it. And because some of my leads are so short, I need that extra cable there. And I like to be able to zip tie it down so if I do lose the battery, it's not yanking directly on the PDB. So I end up with about that much extra on top. So that's why I do it. No ratchet for sure, smooth. So what about the fan? Is it causing an issue with my feed here, or is it just loud and obnoxious? Okay. So I'll deal with that later. I'm not going to play with that. Let's get it working, and then I'll pull the battery leads later. Anyway, so at this point, I think it is camera and VTX, right? Yeah. Alright, so positive and negative to the camera. That's this 5 little piece thing here. Yay, so much fun. Alright, I'm just hooking that straight up to my aux 1. I am going to be a little short on pads here, in fact, which is interesting. It's the first time I've had that issue. It's like Lumineer forgot that you're doing a camera, a VTX, and a flight controller. You only have 2 aux pads, so I'm going to have to share pads a bit here, which is not awful. It's not terrible, but it is interesting that they wouldn't have thought of that beforehand. Oh, come on. Less black, more melty. Alright, cool. Good to know that you can't hear that obnoxious buzzing, because it is obnoxious and buzzy. But I can make sure I don't pass out from the fumes, which is a bonus. Although that'd probably get me plenty of views if I passed out in the middle of doing this. Everyone would come look at the passed out dude. Check him out, he's passed out. Oh, that's so funny. Be one of those viral videos. Of course, you know, it'd be someone just redoing my video with those 6 seconds. Coming up short. I'm not coming up short, I am short. Alright, then what are these other ones for? I forget. No, okay. We've got the battery voltage. So let's go ahead and hook that in. Got my audio and my video. So, I'm gonna have to splice a video cable. Ugh, how awful. Okay. So, battery voltage. Since it's all gonna be going the same way, let's go ahead and make that pretty. Get my battery voltage hooked up here. Like I said, once we really get going, it'll just roll along. It's just all the prep work. It takes forever and a day. There we go. Oh, that's a pretty well, isn't it? Oh, I'll be cleaning all that up later. I'm going to have to pull it anyway to get this O-ring that I forgot to put on back on. Haha, I'm super smart. Alright, Laserbeak, well, you enjoy your evening. I'll probably be on for another 45 minutes or so. And I know, I'm super slow at building. I'm terrible like that. But that's because I get distracted talking with you guys. It usually takes me about maybe 2-3 hours to put one of these together, and we're on hour 4 now. It's time for the VTX. Time for the VTX now. Alright, and this has to go on aux 2. Oh, that's going to be tight. Yeah, we'll get rid of that and just use this. Oh, it's going to be tiny and itty bitty. Oh, this ought to be fun. Is it even going to get out past the flight controller? I might have to go up and around. Oh no, I might have to stick it to the top plate. Oh, that's awful. Alright. You know what? I might have to splice these wires real quick. Let's see what I got. I got these. Those will work. I think they're the same wire, so. Yep. Okay. Give me some more wire. I may end up shortening these again at some point, but that comes out. Allow me to go down. Let's see, I'll take a little more off here and here. Good to see you too, 333NG. You'll have to tell me how to pronounce that. But yeah, I know. The live night was 2 a.m. in the UK. If you do pass out, I totally understand. I am not the most entertaining person in the world while building, but I do like to chat, so I'll blather in your ear, keep you awake. As for Derek, yes, you are correct. If I just killed all my brain cells with this rosin flux and whatnot, yeah, there'd be no headaches whatsoever. I'd feel great all the time, but I'd also just drool. It's Ingy? Okay, cool. Ingy, I like it. Oh, mother humper. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna melt you together, and you will be happy, and you will like it. Because I don't want to deal with doing this all ITEL best practice. Should have done this before the live stream, Justin. That would have been smart. But no, you had to be sick instead. Oh, come on, really? Yeah. There we go. Solid piece. You think, will that stick? Yeah, it'll stay. Oh, hell. Yes, hello from the cold Midwest. I like that, George. I completely agree. Hello from the place that is frozen. It's currently raining ice outside. Or it was yesterday. And it was this afternoon. I don't know if it is right now or not. I've been inside for too long. I haven't seen the sun in years. No, it's more like I haven't seen the sun since it went down. Because I did run to the store this afternoon, so I could have the solder that I like. There we go. Little bubbles of solder, that'll work. Okay, do I have tiny little... I think I do. Itty bitty little shrink wrap. Where'd you go? There you are. Yeah. Picked this up yesterday because I knew I'd need some. So you're gonna go ahead. Oh no, Derek, that's awful. Are the split 2s worth it? I hear they still had latency problems, but I'm not sure. I mean, I've heard it both ways. Oh, the split 2 is totally better. It's so much more worth it. And then I've also heard that they're terrible, and no one should touch any of them. So, what's your opinion on them? How to fix the receiver? You mean one of these? Ingy, are you just talking about the receiver for your transmitter? I mean, that you can buy a new one and clip that in if you're looking at the Wizard. Nah, fire. Fire, fire, fire. There we go. And you killed your GoPro. Man, you sound like Josh Ketchum smashing stuff all the time there, Derek. So they do have bad latency. That's good to know. I've been debating on my 2-inch. Ow! Whew, extra fire. I've been debating on my 2-inch whether or not I'm going to go with a RunCam split, or if I'm going to try and get some sort of micro and then a separated DVR, or separated, HD cam. Because I do have one of those little tiny itty bitty ones, the SQ8s or whatever, that I'm thinking about tearing apart and turning into a little camera for that. Alright, now I have something that is long enough. Bonus! I'd be tinning for years. You guys are all gonna leave. It's gonna be the year 2030, and I'm still gonna be tinning little tiny wires. Takes forever. Oh well, at least Derek, your old cam was a Hero 3 and not a not like the new Hero Session 5 or 6 or whatever it is. I mean, what number are they on now? Is it the Hero 6 or is it the Hero 17? What are they even calling that new 360 version that they have? I don't even know. They should have stuck with what they knew. Because there was a market for it. Now everybody has one and nobody wants to buy a new one. They have oversaturated their own market. Yeah, it's the Hero 6. There we go. But yeah. I've gotten lucky. I have only exploded a quad once. It was actually the Wizard. I got falcon punched by a tree. I came through a split S. I was just learning, and I got this awesome split S that came up and over the tree and around, and I just caught the end of a branch and took the whole front end of the quad off. I think I have a video up of that with the falcon punch at the end there. Or no, it's Tiger Uppercut, excuse me. Tiger Uppercut. Because, yeah, Sagat beat the crap out of my quad, let me tell you. Okay, so I am now hooking up the VTX stuff to the dedicated 5-volt pad. That way, I don't have to worry about voltage spikes. That's what this little Palolo is supposed to take care of. Turn this up just a bit. Yeah. Should have taken those standoffs off. Oh, come on, really? You stupid son of a bitch. Get in there. Excuse my French. Get a little annoyed when I'm dealing with tiny wires. I will put freaking extra in there just to get you to shut up and melt. Come on, the positive worked so well. Oh, whatever, that'll work. Good enough. Okay, so now I have that. Now I just need to get the video to the video. Oh gosh, that's gonna be tight. Give me some extra video wire. Yeah, like I was saying, 333, just go ahead, your E. Just go ahead and replace the receiver itself. It should be good. But yeah, the Hero 6 does suck for the money. Sorry, just going back up through the comments here. It's the 6. It seems to be stupidly expensive and stupidly not worth it. For the upgrade that you get from like the Session 5 to the 6, along with the weight change, I just don't see this quite worth it. I mean, I can get the 2.7K 30 and 1080p 60 no problem on my Session 5. Why go to the full-on Hero 6, add weight, and get, you know, 2.7K, what is it, 2.7K 60, I believe? The best that it does. Makes me sad. Oh God, I'm gonna have like 3,500 spliced wires in here for this VTX 2-camera combo. Ugh, so sad, so sad. The only time I had a bad ESC, Derek, you know, speaking of ESCs and death rolls, the only time I had a bad ESC was when my prop actually caught an ESC and took off one of those inline, those little things, the inline capacitors. I have a tendency to have a really bad time with those. I hit a tree, the prop struck one of the ESCs before I had protection on them, and took one of those capacitors off. So it was no big deal, my motor stopped spinning. Ow. Which is what took me from 20 amp ESCs into 30 amp ESCs, because I figured why not upgrade while I'm at it. So I did. All these little fiddly connections. And this is why I like a clean build more so than I like repairing or taking old parts. Is because a clean build, I'd already have everything together and we would be like 90% done. With a non-clean build, oh no, we're still working on it. One of these days, one of these millennia, I'll be finished, right? Someday my pence will come. Travis, have I ever had my quad locked in but on full throttle I get jello? Every quad. Part of the problem I have is I'm actually not seeing that in my FPV feed. I don't have any jello in my FPV cam. It's all in the session, which from what I've been reading up on / everyone's yelling at me about, it means I need to turn off my my hoober bloober. I need to turn off the stabilization. It's one of the things I have heard. So if you are having a problem with that, I'd check the stabilization first. You know, make sure your Hero, at least the Hero Session 5, has a stabilization setting that you can turn on and off. And I hear turning off the stabilization on our quads makes for a much smoother picture. So that would be my first thing. The second thing would be tuning. Check your motors, make sure you don't have any bad bearings. You know, all that good stuff. Which, you know, me being me, I just deal with a little bit of shaky footage and don't full throttle it unless I have to. That's the way I've been getting around it. But I really should just turn off the stabilization. I hear it works wonders. Runcam split power camera kit. So what are we talking about? The Runcam split there, Derek? Come on. Make the mess the way I want you to make the mess, not the way you want to make the mess. God, before I melt all of the wire off. Okay, damn it. Maybe we should put the shrink wrap on there first. Heat shrink. Let's try that again. This is one of those times where I wish I had helping hands. The actual, Oh yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, it's I got the eBay, you know, Chinese knockoff version of that. The one that's like got the little random LEDs on it and crap. I actually got it for something completely different. It did not work for that task at all, but I'm glad I kept it because I think I'm going to put it on my 2-inch. And stick. Cool. That'll work. Good enough for government work. Right? Yes, I have electric to electric. Cool. 85 splices later, and I might actually be able to hook up my camera to my VTX. Is that everything? No, there's still one more wire. Jesus. Alright. Really? That sounds interesting. I would check it out, but I've currently got people watching me build. So, maybe once I'm done. It does sound like an interesting concept, taking a Runcam split and turning it into a Polaroid cube. But or is it just someone trying to remake the old Runcam 3 that's not allowed to be sold anymore? UAV riot drone. I actually have never heard of that. I'm not gonna lie. Oh god, I'm so bad. Come on. You can tell I'm on cold meds right now. I keep on forgetting to put my little splicey wire pieces on before I splice it. There we go. Personally, Derek, I really wish that GoPro hadn't shut down Runcam making that box style. I would have loved to have actually seen some competition to push innovation as opposed to the same old thing that Runcam or that GoPro keeps doing. Come on, stick. That is a terrible splice. but it'll work. There we go. That is the worst splice I have ever made. Nobody look at that. That's awful. Ugh. My wiring's getting messy. Oh, come on, really? Get over top of the thing. Stay where you are meant to be. There we go. Alright. I stretch from front to back finally. We are good. Okay. So that is camera, that is VTX, that is everything but the flight controller. So, let's go ahead and make some room. Slap that down here. Flight controller. I've already got the power wires ready. Well, sort of ready. I need to, of course, tin them. But I've got the power wires available. Let's use that. I know, right? The Runcam 3. I would have bought it just for testing. You kidding? Yes, I would have bought that Runcam 3 at 99 bucks just for testing, just to see how it compared. You know, one of those things where I'm going to fly it over the ocean, so I'm going to stick the Runcam in it because I don't want to lose my GoPro. That would have been great. But GoPro decided they were going to be a butt. You know what? Wait, what is it? ENG? I'm sorry, I'm terrible with that name. I'm gonna call you 333 for now because it's easier when I'm trying to speak. But yeah, the proprietary stuff. I would highly recommend just finding a diagram. There's got to be a diagram of it up online somewhere. Someone has put up a diagram. You can always find it and figure it out. Okay, so we got the front and the back, right? Is that right? Okay, cool. Front and back. So this will go on this way. Okay. So many wires. Okay, there we go. So you go on like that. So battery, I think I'm gonna have to go to aux 1, or should I go straight from the battery voltage pads? They're a big old mess. Alright, you know what, screw that, I'll deal with you in a minute. First, I'm going to get these all attached. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we'll start it backwards like this. Sunny Sky. People keep on mentioning Sunny Sky. What are these Sunny Sky motors? I don't think I've ever heard of them. Yes, Ing-E. I'm terribly sorry. Ing-E. So we're skipping the three threes then. It's just Ing-E. Okay. Gotcha. Alright. Tin her up. Get her in. Tin her up. Get her in. Tin her up. Get her in. Rawhide. Okay, get that on. Get that on there. 1 into 1, right? That's how this works. White and black. Uh-oh. I may have put too much solder on the back there. I need you to be a little thinner, thank you. Son of a gun. Son of a booger face. Come on. Gotta be careful on YouTube. They will get rid of you. You know what? Go away. I don't need you. Positive and negative. Open his eyebrows. Alright. Sorry if my head's in the way here. There we go. There's motor 1. Like I said, once I've got it all done, I'm a bit faster. I don't think it's a bit, but I don't. Yes, so session 4s. Other than the fact that they don't have the the super view on them. That's the biggest reason why I went with the session 5. That super view is just a sight to behold. There is a world of difference between the 4 and the 5 when it comes to that on the sessions. But if you're strapped for cash, if you're a flyer of any sort that is not awful, people won't notice the difference between the 4 and the 5 once you get going. So you can go either way, honestly. I'm just a bigger fan of the 5 only because it has 2.7K 40 or 2.7K 30, excuse me, and the ability to be awesome and the ability to have super view. Oh my gosh, my negatives are being a bitch. Get in those little through holes. 2. Pew, pew. I want you to stick right there. Blam. Okay. Yeah, well, personally, once you're le drib, it doesn't matter what camera you use. That man could use, like, you know, a 1980s Polaroid and still get good flight footage. So there we go, and Q. And what is it? 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. I can never remember. 3, 4. Okay, 3. Excuse me if I start sounding like a 6-pack-a-day smoker fighting a gorilla. It's because my system's going crap. And George, yeah, I completely agree with you with the vibrations kicking in. The biggest thing with the chameleons, though, is the fact that they don't actually hard mount with any bolts. They slide over the carbon plate itself on the chameleons, so it gets a little vibratory on that. There's not too much I can do about that. What I really need to do is start playing with my filters. I need to, like, go through Joshua Bardwell's thing, turn off the prop wash filters, turn off the camera stuff. Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now with sticking tiny little sticks into tiny little holes. It's like playing Dollhouse Sexy Time. That didn't just come out of my mouth. Anyway. Yeah, if you're getting vibrations with 4S, you're probably looking at soft mounting motors at that point. Ingy. Or Travis, I'm sorry. Come on, really? What happened there? If you could solder, I will put way too much on you. Yeah, that's right. I'll make you a mess in order for you to work. Well, as long as it's attached. Looks like I got grapefruit there. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. Exactly. I need to set the notches on my motors And I do have a cap sitting around here somewhere for this one. I actually don't run a cap on my Chameleons because I'm using the DYS XSD 30 amp V2s, which have so many inline capacitors on them, they don't need a cap. It's great. I have great footage. I have great flying. It's awesome. I do soft mount my flight controller. These are all little rubber grommets here. So it is, the flight controller itself is soft mounted. I just don't soft mount the motors. I find soft mounting the motors, I lose screws more than anything else. And as for what name I go by, I really just use Loy. I mean, it's my last name, and it seems to work really well. Loy Ventures, you know, adventures, haha, how fun. And with, you know, nobody else uses Loy in the FPV world, so it seems to work well there too. I have 16 and 14 gauge. I don't have the full wire kits for everything because I'm cheap and I have a whole bunch of wire. In fact, I have a wire box, George, so I do have a lot of wire. I just don't have it clean and organized, and as you can tell, a lot of stuff needs to be spliced. So, and all these little JST connectors, I do not have spares of those. I need to start picking those up as well in order to make this stuff go faster. There we go. And number 4. Oh, come on, reach. I will be so mad if you do not reach. You don't understand my anger here if you don't reach. There will be a whole new terminology for it. Oh no, it doesn't reach. We have a problem, Houston. You know what? I'm just gonna splice one in. I got spares. Let's see, what do I need? Like an inch? We'll give it 4. But yeah, whoever's flying just 3S needs to go ahead and just up their game to 4S. Get it over with, you're gonna want it. But yeah, I feel you. It's just a last name, so it works. Luckily, I am the only one with this last name in the area, so... You know, of course, now that I've said that, there's going to be like 8 more pilots that pop out of the woodwork. Oh yeah, my last name too! You know, that kind of thing. What is this surplus you speak of? I am using random pieces, parts, and random crap that I have laying around. Works well enough for me. Obviously, it makes George twitch. George does not like the fact that I'm using random stuff and I don't have all the equipment and I take a little bit. But I honestly figured that taking this amount of time shows beginners and other people that it's not all, you know, it took me, you know, 2 minutes and I put a whole thing together, like those expert pro dudes on Rotor Riot and everything who do this for a living, day in, day out. You know, Joshua Bardwell and everybody. They do this crap so fast, it's ridiculous. They're machines. I could only wish I was that fast. Instead, I just make a hash and make a mess out of everything, and somehow in the end it becomes a quadcopter. Alright, you come here. Ooh, burning things shouldn't be burning. Alright, we're gonna spread you out. Make you pretty, right? Nice and pretty. This is not the recommended method for doing this, but it works. There we go. What is this neat and clean you speak of, Night Train? Do you see this? Hey, Chappie. Yeah, it's a 6-inch QAV-r build. It used to be a 5-inch Ishin Wizard, but it will end up being a beautiful, beautiful build when I'm done. Yeah. It depends on your definition of beautiful, though. I will say that. It will be a functioning build. In the end, yeah, I might clean up some wires. We'll see how it goes. I've got a cap that should go on here as well. We'll see if I can get to that this evening, because I also have to undo the battery leads in order to get this little grommet on, because I forgot. But I don't want to undo it quite yet, because that takes effort. I want to get it mostly done here. Just get it pretty for you guys. Fire. There we go. And then, in whose end? That's the question. Night Train. Really is. Because, you know, in my end, not so much. Not only are my builds not very clean and pretty in the end, but they are also not usually in anyone's end. Alright, motor 4. Get that in there, and that in there. And put my little splooge back. I am a big fan of this stuff, by the way. It is Blue Tack. Works better than Helping Hands. Because it's cheaper. And you can just stick it wherever you want and it all comes off when you're done. It's actually a tip I took from UAV Futures. Working on Sims right now, George. As in like the old school video game, or as in like flying Sims? There we go. Okay. Does everything fit? Gonna have to wiggle it around this Pololu regulator, but it should. There we go. That Pololu gets in the way just a bit, doesn't it? Little circuit board that's on there makes things just that much more difficult. Yeah. Alright, cool. So everything fits, everything is lengthed. We're good there. I'm gonna have to figure something out for all this wiring. Oh my goodness. So much wire everywhere. And it sits so high. Alright. This is definitely an old school build. You can tell. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those power leads in. Do I want to hook that up to the bat now? I'm going to hook that up to aux. You know why? Because I feel like it. Okay. So I'm going to hook up my flight controller power leads to the aux here. I think I only need them about half as long as they are. Alright, tin. Do I use Sims to practice? I really haven't. I maybe flew for like 2-3 hours on the DRL simulator, and I realized that flew like a potato with popsicle stick props, just because the weight, you know, and it does fly properly for those quads. However, those quads are so incredibly different from what we fly. They're like 7 inches with 12S batteries and gigantic props. And then I used FPV-Freerider for a little bit. And again, I felt like that was in slow motion a little bit. It wasn't as snappy as I felt it really should be. So I did use it just to get some muscle memory down. because, you know, there's no way you're going to magically know all this. Oh, son of a hell. There's no way you're magically going to know all that, you know, flight, all these muscle controls, all this muscle memory off the top of your head. So I did use it to get familiar, but beyond that, not really, unfortunately. And so I find nothing is quite like actually flying. So there we go, that's better. And then negative to negative. Attach dumbbell. Really? You're gonna dance over there? Well, I've now undone everything. Ugh, I hate having to go back to pads like this. You always end up messing stuff up. There we go. Alright, and then Travis, you are lucky having only ever broken one drone. And I have broken 3 at this point. I always tend to repair them though. Did I put those in the right way? Let me check something real quick so I don't fry a flight controller. I may have just swapped my positives and my negatives. I just put the... Oh, great. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that in a minute. I just put all of my negatives in one row too high, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Story of my life. Ah. And then where does power go? Bat plus and minus, right? Bat minus. Bat plus. Okay. Where's my sticky tack? Every other time. Man, night train, that's hardcore. I don't know if I'd have the patience to rebuild every other time I go out and fly. Yeah, exactly. Negative to outside. I realized I put it in the middle, so I have to fix that. That's what happens when you're on cold meds. Got the flu, not paying enough attention. There we go. So I'll rip through that real quick, half a second. And then actually, I think we're at the point where I can turn her on. Stick everything together. And so I'll stick a cap on there maybe a little later. But I figure the less I have to... This ought to be fun. Let's get it sideways. That way I can yank on all these. There we go. Just getting the negatives on the right holes at this point because my dumb face didn't pay enough attention. This is how it always goes. Last minute, oh gosh, need to fix that. At least I didn't stick a battery in it. That'd have been fun. Oh hell, missed the hole. Let's try that again. Back off. Back in. Jag off. There we go. Well, thank you, Ingy. Did take me about 4 days. I was able to get it down though. Finally got the Wizard back down, and actually about half the parts that are on this quad are from that one. So it was still flyable. I actually this weekend I should have a video up of like the last flight of my Wizard here before it's become parts for this. For the configuration and everything, I'm probably actually going to take this 6-inch build and cut it down to, you know, a more watchable format, because I do know that a lot of people are not up for watching 2-hour videos. So I'll probably take this, and then during the configuration and everything, take more footage and whatnot, so I can put together a full step-by-step on this, because I have been speaking about everything I've done here. So, or, you know, if Travis and everybody get my stuff together and send me stuff, I'll definitely make a Frankenstein build and do a step-by-step on that. That's easy too. Alright. To the very outside, because you're a bitch. Get there, get there, get there. Melt. Become one with the board, because I am a third. There we go. Wouldn't that have been fun if I powered it up before I had put the negatives in the right spot? That would have been a hellacious mistake. There we go. Alright, up and in, and through and on. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I have power to the flight controller, I have the battery attached, I have all of my VTX stuff done. What else am I missing? I am missing a flight controller. I'm missing one of these. Let's go ahead and get that on there. I know I have a spare one around here somewhere. I don't want to use the one that's currently there because I have ripped up those antennas something awful. I know I have another IA6C sitting around here. What'd I do with it? Alright, which one of you ate my IA6C? Doodly doodly do. $5 for the person who spots it on the table. Yeah, oscilloscopes, no, I haven't even gotten to the point of using black box data yet. I feel you, Travis. Or, excuse me, Night Train. Okay, what the hell? What the hell? Stuff is starting to disappear on me. Not cool. Let's see. Where in the great googly moogly did it go? Oh, duh, it's in my box. How much you want to bet? Hey, look at that. TGY 60. I'm not crazy, I'm not. Okay. Oh no, I've got the A8S. I actually have a couple of spare A8S. I use them for the tiny whoops at the moment. Alright, and then UR2 is right there on this board. And I am a fan of S-Bus over PPM, and S-Bus is the white wire, right? That's how this works? S-Bus is white. Hey, you know what? There's an easy way to sort that. Doodly-doo. Ground VCC S-Bus, yes. So I need those. You know what? Normally I depin the transmitter and get it all together, but for the sake of time right now, I'm just going to go ahead and use it as it is, because it's just a little bit faster. It's the next time you see this quad, it'll have a depinned and decased IA6C, because these things are huge, but luckily it does fit inside this quad with the case on it. So I'll go ahead and do it that way for now. Oh, what's this about Twitch, George? Oh, and that box? Yes, I am a big fan of my wire box. The girl actually forced me to get that because I had a giant box. And yeah, you're talking about these little tiny A6, this one, the FSA-8S. They're great, except for the fact that occasionally, if you don't have, like, someone made clones or something like that, and if you don't have the official, goodness gracious, this one, you'll end up with a problem where it'll come disconnected. And people have lost 2-inch, 3-inch, 5-inch builds just because it's disconnected on them, and they weren't paying attention. I will get that in there at some point, but for the moment, I just want to get this thing to beep and turn on for me. So I'm going to go ahead and tin these. I want it to be pretty and to turn on. That is the plan for the evening. There you go. Range issues. That, yes, that. Night train. Okay, so... Oh, well, where does it go? UR2 goes... Is it... Minus, plus, what? Is it on the back? Yeah, there we go. Minus, plus signal. Okay. So... Negative... Positive signal. Okay, there's no way I'm getting that bent around as far as I need it to be. So it looks like I'll be doing a balancing act here. Yeah, Night Train. The whole Turnigy evolution says full range, but I found that most of them are just about park flyer range. This IA6C gets me, you know, I can do a couple of soccer fields, a couple of football fields across, that kind of thing. You know, and usually I'll lose visual feed before I lose connectivity. However, it's definitely not a full range transmitter. In general, I don't think there is any full range option for it. And that's why a lot of people are really irked with the whole thing, because they could have done so much with the Evo, but they just stopped dealing with it, stopped supporting it. Oh, come on, really? Give it back. You don't need it? I need it. There you go. Alright, and if I am correct, I don't think I have anything else that needs to go on here. I'll put a buzzer on it and probably the back part, the cap, at some point here, but I want to go ahead and get it all plugged in and see what happens. So I think I have everything together. And yes, I am left-handed, Chappie. Nice catch. I am a lefty. Lefties of the world unite. And I do fly mode... Mode... I can't remember the name of it. I think it's mode 2. With throttle on the left, yaw. Throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll. So... yes, I believe it is magic smoke time. Is there anything I've missed, Night Train? Is there something you've caught? Making me a little paranoid there. Yeah, mode 2. Thank you. I've thought about flying like mode 4 or something, because every once in a while I want my I want it to be roll and throttle on the left stick, but I haven't played the game to quite figure all that out yet. You know, that's something I want to try in a simulator before I just stick it on a quad. Yeah, I have a smoke stopper, don't worry. Right now I'm just going to tie down this flight controller a little bit. I'm not going to put all 4 screws in, but... Alright, get all the pieces hooked up. And then we'll go ahead, camera. Cameras are good. Camera is good. Come on, get in there. This is the worst. I hate this part. They should have used a better connector. We should have like pins or something we can use on the back of this, because that JST is just a bear. Alright, let me grab the smoke stopper real quick here. Where to go, where to go? Is that it over here? Ah! Alright, my old school smoke stopper here. And I'll go ahead and get it plugged into the XT60. And I'll grab a battery. Trust me, I have fried a few things. So, here goes nothing. That sounds good. I think we have connection. We are good to go. I don't see any smoke coming out, and I don't have a lit bulb. So, I think we got it all set up. Hooray! Okay, now I'm going to just throw a few things together so we can get this actually pinned up real quick. And it can look like a nice, pretty complete build before I sign off. Houston, we have liftoff. Yes, absolutely. I love it when a build comes together and nothing explodes. That's always a bonus. Alright. Yeah, give me the old screws. I need you. I need you. I want you. Ooh, I want you. I don't know if I need you. It looked like everything lit up. I'm not 100%. I should probably check this one again, but with my luck, the VTX is already destroyed. I have no idea. We'll see, though. Alright. I need those. Cool. 4 screws. 4 little screws. All in a row. Okay. Where did those... Luminaire. Oh, does that mean I get to put the name brand on it finally? How cool. Alright. So you get in there with my little fingers. Gonna go ahead and get the camera plates on here. Get the camera set up. Whee! It's a 2. Oh, well, that's a bad sign. I'm gonna need a spacer, aren't I? The screw worked correctly for the other build. Why are you being a bitch? Why are you being a hoe? Yeah, it looks like I got a little excited too. This is gonna have to it won't tighten up against the luminaire plate. How interesting. Let's see if I have another screw that'll work. Yeah, you mentioned that bee fight earlier. I think it was yesterday, actually. Let's see if I have smaller screws. Ittier bittier screws. No. Do I have spacers? I do. You're ugly, but you'll work. Little pieces of plastic I half melted at one point. Well, congratulations. I'm glad it flew. It's always nice when you get a build to finally get off the ground and fly. Because, yeah, I may be done with this build, but now I have to get it into beta flight and get it all sorted. And I'm not going to subject you guys to that because it's a lot of me sitting here clicking at myself. Okay, there should be a second little tiny screw, but that's not going to happen. So let me grab my Boxo stuffy one, because I do have some spare pieces. I think it's you. You look right. You look correct. Let's see. You are correct. Awesome. University of YouTube. Yes, absolutely. Night Train is correct. Alright, Travis, you have yourself a good night. We'll start with that. Thank you on the build. Like I said, I'll get a beta flight portion up here on it as well at some point. But yeah, you have yourself a good night. Thank you, Ingy. It's just a lot of graphs. I mean, if you really want to see, Ingy, I have a couple of cheat sheets up. We'll swing over to the monitor here. Oh, we're going to get the million monitor set up. But, there you go. There's actually a diagram for most of these flight controllers. And just for reference, I keep the motor order right there, just so I can make sure I get everything together. But, like everyone's saying, yeah, University of YouTube is great. I learned more than half of this easy just on YouTube. I watched Joshua Bardwell, and I watched Project Blue Falcon, and I actually found Oscar Liang, I can never pronounce his name either, I'm just bad with names. I found him to be a useful resource as well, specifically for the Ishin Wizard, because he used the Ishin Wizard and the Eternigy Evolution, so I was able to get that set up for the first time. There you go. Night Train's got it right. It's board pin, whatever board you have, pin out. Oh gosh, darn it. Come on, work with me here. I'm having mental faculty issues at this point. Come on, you stupid thing, get in there. There we go. Okay. That should sit in there. Seem to be losing my voice, goodness. Yeah, Oscar is great. Okay. Get in there, get down. I might have a problem with the length of the screws here causing an issue. I'm gonna have to Dremel those out, but whatever, I'll set it on there so it looks pretty at least. Come on, 1 and 2. Oh, it's not gonna work. You know what? I'm going to have to cut these screws down. Luckily I have a Dremel. If you ever figure out that your screws for something don't work, I highly recommend a Dremel. Dremels are awesome. Oh, is he really? On Deadband. Oh, well, he wins. He's got a much better setup than I do. It's people who've been doing it longer. That's all I'm gonna say there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna take the top plate. I think it's gonna go receiver. Yeah, we're gonna have to shorten some wires here too. Oof. So long, so ugly. Alright, you can go up, you go down. Down, I say down. See, that Turnigy receiver is just so big that I'm gonna have to depin it here. But I'm not gonna subject you guys to that right now, because that is a bear and a half. But anyway, let's get that mocked up in there. I'm sure he does. Me, I fumble. He's probably just a machine. The configurator, oh gosh, you guys want to see that too? I'll probably make a second video on it, just a separate YouTube video on that, because I am a mess when it comes to configuration. I don't have that down to a science, plus I have to figure out how to record my screen and stream it, and I don't know how well that's going to work. So I'm going to skip it for now, as well as probably this camera, because it will not lock in. I'm going to have to cut some screws. Because yeah, this is the screw fully tightened. That's a problem. So you guys are lucky. I work in the city of St. Louis, and I work 9 to 5 at a desk. The best I could do is tiny whoop and then get kicked out of my office. So I just don't. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to shorten those up, aren't I? Or find shorter screws. I'm sure I have them somewhere. But anyway, we'll just mock you up for now. Get everything pretty mocked up, kicked in. Yeah. Oh, you're so loose right now. This is awful. I will be fixing you. There we go. In and in. And on. Get on, get on, get on, get on. Find the holes, wiggly butt. There we go. 1, 2. And which way did you go? Sorry, I go get my head in here so I can see what's going on. You're gonna have to deal with that for a second. What the hell? Something is wrong. There we go. 1, 2. And 3 and 4. Haha! Okay. Sorry that took an extra second. You're gonna go on like that. You'll be up there. These will be run up that way. VTX should clip in right about there. We'll get that zip tied in a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I've got 2 cams. I don't currently have 2 screens going on at the moment. I've got this cam and the one that's on my monitor. I don't have much more beyond that, but you know, at some point here, actually I think I want those specifically for a different task, but or whatever, I'll stick them in. Whatever. Oh, many cam. Oh, got it. I thought you meant many cams. My apologies, Night Train. But yeah, Chappie, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a live chat, you know, a live cast. That way you guys could ask questions as I worked. You know, I know that some of these guys with hundreds of thousands of people, you know, I've watched some other live streams where these users just get completely ignored. So I do my best to pay attention and everything. I'm actually at the moment using OBS, which does seem to have the ability for me to do that, to share my screen and everything. I just have no idea how. I haven't gotten there yet. No, this is going to be a fun set of screws, isn't it? Oof. Yeah, at least there's a hole here so I can get the backs in. It's one of these things that BMC's really good about. He'll make sure you can get to your screws. So you do video chat as well, Night Train? What about exactly? If you don't mind my asking. Curious what my viewers do. Yeah, come on. Alright. These fronts ought to be easier. It's a really well thought out mount, actually. Like I said, BMC3D.co. He is awesome. He responds almost immediately. He'll allow you to set your color scheme of the TPU. That's how I got this purple and green awesomeness going on. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now I'm not going to bore you guys with the boring stuff, like me figuring out places to mount and rewiring where these go. I will let you know I'm going to put them right about here. That seems to be one of the places that has been good to me when it comes to holding these antennae together and on. But other than that, yeah, we are pretty much good to go and done. Everything is hunky-dory, everything's lighting up. So yeah, that's that. So, yeah, like I said, BMC is awesome. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and do some cleanup, and hopefully my next video will be getting this one in the air, giving it a test. I will put together all of this live stream and everything into a condensed video here. You want me to check the video? Well, my camera won't hold up, but okay, we can give it a shot. I don't know how you guys are going to see it. How do you like my hair? Is it awesome? There's this, and I don't have my battery. Hang on, it's actually up in the room. Be right back so we can check the video. Alright, got a battery. Yeah, you're making me work now, Night Train. What is this? It's all supposed to be fun and games, man. But yeah, like I said, Chappie, BMC3D.co does these. He is absolutely epic with his 3D prints. It's some of the cleanest printing I have seen in a long time. Let me make sure that... See, here's your first problem, Night Train. Is it's only mucked up right now. It is not solidly connected, and I am worried about burning a VTX, because we all know how awesome these TBS Unifies are when it comes to that. They live forever, right? That's all good, dude. I don't mind. It's here. Look, I did cheat a little bit. I got this ready to be torn off, so I can at least get to my TBS Triumph real quick. Ha! Preempted you. Anyway, there we go. Get that fed on. Just so we can take a look. Turn off the soldering iron. Fully plugged in. Alright. I have no idea where I'm going to find this video yet. I don't even know what channel that's on. But sure, we'll plug it in. See what happens. I don't seem to have a light on my TBS. That's interesting. Let's do a quick smart search. This VTX may be toasted. That'd be interesting. That would suck. Don't be toasted, you son of a bitch. Turn on. Uh-oh, bad things, bad things. It looks like the VTX may not be turning on. I'll have to troubleshoot that at some point here. But yeah, it's probably either a bad connection or a toasted VTX, because this was the one that sat forever. Although it is not getting hot, I may just not be getting power to it. Anywho, boo. But yeah, I know the auto search on these is awesome. I highly recommend something with a LCD screen as well. It's part of the reason why I'm so sad about Clearview not having one, is they're just gonna, you're gonna be guessing it's going back to old school stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and troubleshoot this. But that's how you build a quad. It is up, it is running. If I hooked it up in Betaflight, it would fly. So, because it is 9 o'clock and I am getting hungry at this point, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. So if you like what I'm doing, go ahead and leave me that like down below. And if you want to see my video as they come out, go ahead and click my subscribe button. I can't make a card so you're not going to see it here, but y'all know where the subscribe button is. But that's all I got for today, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow, or this weekend, or something. I'll see y'all soon. Later.